News in this video was brought to you by Noir, maker of the most innovative, most accurate, and most effective bullets and ammunition in the industry.
Hey, Sig, relax, relax, relax. Apparently Sig has this thing against small capacity guns because every gun that they come out with now just seems to be capacity to the max. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm not. Because everybody knows I'm a capacity whore. And this is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. So this is the Sig Sauer P365 X-MACRO. It is somewhere in between size-wise, a 19 and like a 43. It's like, it fills that gap. Which it looks like looks like a bigger P365. The thing about it is it has more rounds than both of the guns I just mentioned. The 19 is almost double the size of this thing. And it has 15 rounds. This has 17. When I can actually get the 17th round in it. Gotta get the magazine break in, I guess, but 17 rounds. Now, here's the thing. Remember the P365 XL? No, I don't, because I don't really like that gun. All right, that's being a little harsh. It's not that I don't like the gun. The gun shoots well, the gun does well. I just don't, something about it, its size and its setup, I'm not, everybody asks me, what are your thoughts on the P365 XL? I'll do a video on the P365 XL, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not the biggest fan of it. However, I love the P365, the original. I shoot the hell out of that thing. I still carry it to this day. I love it, I love it. However, this is something else. This is different. I haven't really quite been able to place it yet because I haven't been able to get over the fact that it is 17 rounds in a gun this size. So I can't figure out, do I actually really like the gun or do I just like the capacity to size ratio? And that's a that's a real honest question because I gotta be real with you. It sits somewhere in the same space as the Springfield Hellcat Pro. They're about the same size, if not exactly the same size. The Hellcat Pro has 15 rounds. So, which I raved about that magazine capacity on a gun that size. However, I actually like the way the gun shot. I actually like the way the gun felt. I actually love the way the gun looked. So there wasn't a bias there leaning towards the capacity so much as the shooting, as this may be the case here. This is my first time shooting it, so I'm trying to really kind of wrap my head around it. So, let's back some of these features out real quick. So of course you have, your mounting plate for a red dot. It also comes with the comp now. It's comped, but it's like not a comp that you attach to the gun, it's just in the gun, I guess. I don't really know how that works. I don't really notice a difference, if I'm going to be honest. It kind of feels like I'm shooting all the other P365s. That's not a bad thing because I actually love the way those guns shoot, but I don't notice like a massive reduction in recoil based on this comp thingy, slide cut, whatever the hell this is. That may not even be what its intended purpose is. But if it is, I guess. But in hand, the gun feels really great. It feels personal. You know how like a pistol caliber carbine, they call that a PDW weapon, like a personal defense weapon, because it's so small, it just kind of becomes a part of you. That's kind of the feeling I get from this gun. I don't get the big, like Glock 17 size, kind of like duty gun feel from it. I don't get the kind of like in the middle big size of the 19. It's this weird space that I think Springfield was the first to kind of create it. this kind of in-between PDW style kind of gun. Because it's, from a concealed carry standpoint, it is a concealed carry size gun. I mean, people carry 19s and 17s, but I don't see this gun and think concealed carry. But I don't look at this gun and think, okay, duty. So I don't know where to put it.
Before you finish watching this video, I want to thank today's sponsor, Zydax. Zydax builds awesome gaming PCs, and they specialize in customization from custom LEDs, laser etching, and paint. Zydax has a lifetime warranty on parts and labor, and all of Zydax systems are hand-built in Salt Lake City, Utah, with US-only tech support. So, if you're on the market for your next gaming PC, hit the Zydax link in the description section.
I don't. I've been carrying the Springfield quite a bit now, and I haven't started carrying this gun, so I'm very curious to see how this gun carries, because I feel like it's gonna carry very well. I don't know who their intended audience is. I think they're just trying to show off at this point. I think they're trying to show off and show us how many rounds they can stuff in a gun that's small. And you know what? I'm not mad at it. Keep showing off, Sig. Keep showing off. So one thing I loved about the P365 is the way the gun sat in my hand. The original P365 sat in my hand so naturally that it felt like no matter what, I would come on target and I naturally have a point of aim that just works. And I'm getting that same feeling from this P365 X-MACRO. The ergonomics on this gun are astounding. I mean, at least for my hands. And I think that's maybe who they made this gun for. People with big, small hands. That's essentially what I have. I have big, small hobbit hands. You notice I changed that, right? It used to be like, oh, I just used to have hobbit hands. Now I'm like, they're big, small hobbit hands.
They're still hobbit.
Whatever. But in my hands, it feels great. It feels great. And even when I brought this gun out, Peter was like, how many rounds are in that gun? It's like 17. He was like, oh, wow. Like, that's a small gun to have 17 rounds. But, from a shooting perspective, this gun is aiming really naturally for me. Like just coming up on target, like it's those optics, I mean, those iron sights, they point naturally. The gun, I don't have to overthink my hold on the gun. It just comes up and I'm just on target. Like this is, which is saying a lot when you're talking about a gun that's, let's just be honest, it's designed for concealed carry. It's like, I know I made a hoopla about, oh, who's this marketed to? It's for concealed carry. It's for people who want a concealed carry gun who wear smite. I figured it out. This gun is for people who like to wear medium t-shirts and want to carry the most rounds as possible. Who does that sound like to you? Whatever, Peter. So, this gun really sits in my hand beautifully. The more I'm shooting it, the more it's sitting in my hand. Let's take a look at this trigger real quick too. So one of the things I honestly didn't like about the P365 XL is I did not like the trigger. I did not like the flat face trigger. I love the curved trigger on the P365. However, this one has the flat face trigger. And if I'm gonna be honest, if I could put a curved trigger in this gun, I would. However, the flat face trigger on this gun is better in this gun than it is in the P365 XL. What that means, I have no idea. But I would prefer a curved trigger, but this flat face trigger is better than the one in the P365 XL. So from that standpoint, I mean, I guess that means nothing. I gotta be honest, I feel like maybe I'm put more on capacity than most people, because I felt like this gun, people would be raving and ranting about this gun purely based on the capacity. But it doesn't really seem that way. It's like this gun was kind of rolled out quietly, and it was just like, yeah, let's put it on the market and see what happens. But considering all the hoopla that the P365 when it originally debuted had, you would think something like this would have the same fanfare. But I'm not necessarily seeing that. Why? Don't know. Honestly, don't care. Because for me, I like it. This gun sits in my hand beautifully. If you're a P365 fan, I think you should at least check it out. At bare minimum. Because 17 rounds? 17? I mean, 17 plus 1, that's the same amount of rounds in a Glock 17. And a Glock 17 is the size of Texas, literally. Okay, let's go. Oh, it points so naturally. Oh, that is lovely. That is lovely. Oh, that is something I will say. I have a love-hate relationship with these iron sights. These iron sights are good. They are good, but they're ever so slightly too big. Make of that what you want. For me, I kind of wish they were a little bit smaller, because matching the notch up, it gets a little, but for the most part, I like it a lot. This thing points so naturally. And it has 17 rounds in a gun this size. So there you have it. The Sig P365 X-MACRO. 17 rounds. Sig's just showing off at this point. Jesus.
Guns aren't political. That's why I need your help getting this message to spread on YouTube by clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most importantly, click that bell symbol. For products featured in this video, click the links in the description.